Do you have trouble saving a little bit of money? Well, that's something we're going to talk about. Hi, I'm Megan.
I'm Colin.
And we are the hosts of Pet Sitter Confessional, a podcast by pet sitters for pet sitters. So on episode 289, we had an investor guy. Come on.
Yeah, Joshua Winterswyk from RPG Management out in California came on the show to talk about the importance of investing and saving for retirement, specifically talking about small businesses. Now, really the only magic there is the difference between some of the investment vehicles that we can use. He talked specifically about the SEP, which is only for self-employed people. Everything else really is pretty much the same. It's all about risk management. It's all about looking at your timeline and understanding why you want to have that money there for the future.
And so I don't really understand all of the jargon or any of the financial terms necessarily, but I do know that it's very important to start early with saving, like today. Mm-hmm. Best time was yesterday, second best time is today. So even if it's just $20 a month, because over the course of years, decades that you have to save until you want to retire or until you want to use that money, it can really grow for you.
Yep, and that happens because of something magical called compound interest. Compound interest is whenever the interest earned on the principal on that original amount is applied back to that original bucket, so that it grows a little bit more. And then the next time you earn interest, you're now earning interest on the principal, and then it grows even more. And so it compounds, meaning over time, that number that gets added back to that original bucket gets bigger and bigger. And so if you're thinking about this going, retirement, that's 30 more years away from me. What are you even talking about?
Or because we're in the pet profession and we love pets and it's such a wonderful job, maybe you never want to retire.
True, but there are things we can do to help make sure that our future selves are financially cared for, and we do that by talking to ourselves today. And so when you think about that large number of retirement, I've got to have $1 million, I've got to have, don't focus on that. Start focusing on what you can do today. So as Megan said, if it's something as $20, $25, $50, when Megan and I first started out doing this, we started with exactly $0 in each account, and we added $50 for each of us every month. That was it, $50. And it felt like a lot then.
Well, it's like 2 walks, right?
Yeah, it's still a lot of money to not be putting that into my pocket or to not be putting that into my gas tank or doing something like that.
Or to not be going to Starbucks quite as much. That one's hard.
But if you look at it like this and think about the risk management and understanding what I want for the future self. Right now, times are pretty scary. If you look at the stock market, if you look at how things are going, you may be thinking, why would I start investing right now? Things are awful. But if you look at the track record of the S&P 500 over the entirety of its existence, it's averaged 14% return rate.
That would be pretty nice.
That is. So if we go, okay, over its entirety, because we're not thinking about what happens tomorrow. I'm thinking about what's going to be happening, what's the course of over 30 years. And so if you were to start with $0 today, and this is going to sound like an investment scheme for us or something. It is not. It is not. This is just numbers. I'm not telling you what to invest in. This is not actually financial advice. Please talk to somebody who knows more than we do. But just looking at the numbers, right? If you start with $0 and you say, I'm going to dedicate $100 every month, and let's say it's in something that gets you 6% return, 6% interest rate back on that money. That's pretty fine. We looked at the S&P. It averaged 14, so we're just doing 6. After 30 years of investment of $100 every month over the course of 30 years, you'd have just around $100,000. And you wouldn't have put in $100,000. You would have put in way less than that, actually. So that's the power of compound interest in starting early. When we only have 20 years, we only get to about $70,000 or a little bit less. So you can really start impacting that. So you either need to start a lot earlier or invest more. And that's with talking with somebody, right? Sitting down with a financial advisor, financial planner, whoever that is, and going, this is where I'm at right now. And this is where I want to be. And it's so important because many of us are living, we feel like, right on that razor's edge between I have money and I don't have money. And
that's kind of a scary place to be, actually.
It is. And now somebody's telling you, oh, also you need to dedicate money for your future self. And you go, I don't even have money for my current self. And it is. It's really scary, and it's really, really frustrating to be in that moment and to be nervous about how you want to move forward.
But the only way that you stop living in that is to save for the future. So one day you don't have to live like that anymore.
Exactly. And you can look at your business and go, look at your business as an engine of income for yourself. I know that sounds selfish, and I know we're in this for the care of the pets, but your business can make you money. Your business can take care of you. That is something it does, and we need to be focusing on that. So by raising rates, changing our policies and procedures, looking at clients, trying to grow in different areas, all of those things are ways that we can continue not only operating our business well, but taking care of ourselves too. It's not selfish. It's not selfish to make sure that you and your family are cared for at the end of the day. You get to do that while doing something you love, right? Caring for pets, but you get something in return for that. And we can't forget to make sure that we have that balance in our lives.
Yeah, well, I think you mentioned having a 12-month emergency fund as well, right? And this is before you start investing or during? Or?
No, this is before you start investing. And
Okay.
why? So what does that mean? It means you look at your monthly spend. How much do I need? What are my needs? Not my wants, right? Not my Starbucks runs, not my new purchases of whatever, but what are my needs? So you're looking at housing, food, fuel, unfortunately these days.
Insurance.
Insurance. What are my needs to that I have to? Okay, if I multiply that number by 12, that's how much I need to have sitting in the bank as a safety net before I can continue moving forward. And he said that for a couple reasons. One, so that we have security when we step out, because any investment we make carries risk. I said the average for the S&P was 14. Some years it was like negative 20. So, okay. So, but we're looking at the averages and long term here. But we have to be okay with absorbing some impact. So setting our savings account aside, and this is not invested, this is not in any fancy schmancy, anything like that. It could be just in cash. It could be in a humdrum, boring savings account in your local bank.
But not cash like under your mattress.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Because that's sorry.
That's a lot of money under your mattress.
Don't do that. That's a financial nightmare if something happens to an insurance nightmare. So setting that aside in a humdrum account, that's not going to lose money. It's not going to really be earning anything. But then that way you have security. So when you have unexpected medical bills, whenever you have a car repair, whenever you have an injury, whenever you have something come up or
When
replace.
you're walking your dog and you trip and break your ankle.
Or the washer goes out, instead of having to dip into going into debt or things like that, you now have that set aside. And then let's say markets turn down, you may stop investing momentarily so that you can kind of ride that out. You still have a little bit of security over here to protect yourself as your business goes down and you're not making as much.
Like a pandemic.
Like that would ever happen.
No.
So it's about not just, we a lot of times, and he talked about this too, we focus a lot on the wealth acquisition, growing wealth. We don't really tend to focus on the protecting our wealth. So that does through emergency funds, through insurance, through good practices and planning as well.
Yeah, so if you are a financial guru, let us know how you how you handle your money and how you set aside some of it for the future. You can also subscribe to this channel or leave a comment below, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.